Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. So my friends over at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to do the Dip Edge Crochet Basket. Now this is a really neat idea and we're going to be using 2 strands at one time, but it says that there's 3 balls of one color, 1 ball of another, and if you're using 2 strands at the same time, how is there an odd number of balls? So let's just quickly talk about that and ways to be able to get around that, as well as you can make this any height that you want to. So I'm going to be covering the handles today as well with you, and also get yourself started. So in the instructions you can see that the main color, the brocade, has 3 balls. So you have a choice. When you have your yarn, let me just zoom right back out, and you have your yarn and you're going to grab from the center. If there's 3 balls, you want to just grab 2 balls and just use the center of each of those balls. That will give you your double thickness. But you will notice that there's said 3 balls. So once you use up the first 2 balls, what you can do on the 3rd ball is grab the outside and the inside like this and just use them together to double strand. So that's how it's getting that number. So as we get started today, we're going to be starting off at the bottom and working our way out, and once we get to the certain amount of inches, we're going to be continuing in this manner until there's 8 single crochets evenly around the next 5 rounds. So what we need to do is that we need to keep increasing after the 8th round. So you see that there's 64 stitches, but we need to get to 104 stitches. So that's something that we're gonna have to figure out. So I'll have that detail for you a little bit later in this tutorial. So we're gonna work our way out, and then once you're happy with the diameter, you're going to work in the next round, and then you're going to work in the back loops in order to do that, and that will create the natural bend at the bottom of the basket that you see, and then it will just jet out ever so nicely to give you a nice rounded edge, and then you're going to work your way up the side. So let's get ourselves started. You're gonna hold the 2 strands together. This is like a marling technique, and if you can use 2 different strands, like completely different colors if you want, but if you are gonna use the same color, I recommend that you probably just have them start at a different spot so they're not equally matching each other, and that's just kind of an idea. So you can decide to do that for yourself. So we're going to then just create a slip knot using both together. We're gonna use a 10mm size N as in Nancy crochet hook today, and we're gonna go on here. It does say M as in Michael. Those hooks are hard to find, so just increase to a size N as in Nancy. So once that's on there, I want you to place in and chain 2. And you're gonna know this is gonna be really thick, which is what you're looking for. So in the first round, let's begin. We are going to put 8 single crochets in the first one, like in the first chain. So let's just count those out together. So we're gonna say 1 and 2. Getting started is always the hardest. So 2. Make sure the tension is coming from the ball quite nicely too. So 3. And noticing that I'm going over the straggler as well. So we're gonna say 4. 5, 6. I'm gonna move the straggler out of the way. 7 and 8. So 8 is gonna get you all the way around. It's really it's almost like a poof, a makeup poof already. It's so big. So that's 8. Let's verify. So you're just gonna count back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and on the 8th one back, that's the first one that you're going to apply your slip stitch to. Okay, so pull through and through like that. So if you were going over the straggler, let's get rid of that now. It's out of your hair, and let's move on to round number 2 next. Let's move on to round number 2. You're going to chain up 1, and in the same space that you have for the join, I want you to put in 2 single crochets. So we're gonna say 1 and 2, and then you're gonna go into the next one and then put 2 into that one, and so you're gonna do all 8 single crochet stitches around. You put 2 into each, and then you'll end up with 16 single crochets, and then we'll just meet you at the end of this round. So put 2 single crochets in each stitch all the way around. So in coming out around, you should see 8 groups of 2 stitches, and then you're just gonna slip stitch to the very first one, and then we're gonna start the third round. So I'm just checking it off on my list as I go. So we're now going to start with our increases. We have to continually get bigger, and the increase is going to be very easy as we're doing that. So as we begin to go along, we're just going to chain up 1, and you're going to put 1 single crochet in the first one. Sorry, 2 single crochets in the first one. And then the next stitch is going to be 1 single crochet by itself. Okay, so here's the repeat for this pattern, round number 3. It's going to be 2 into the first one, so 1 and 2, and then 1 into the next one, and you're going to keep doing that all the way around. See me at the end of this round. This is round number 3. Coming up to the end of round number 3, the 1 single crochet by itself should be the last one, so that will help you to know that. Okay, so let's slip stitch and move on to number 4. So we're now going to increase our stitches in between the increased stitches. Say that 10 times fast. So we're gonna do number 4. So we're gonna chain up 1, and we're gonna do 2 single crochets in the first one, and so we're gonna get bigger now. So the next 2 in a row are each gonna be a single crochet. Okay, so last time it was only 1, this time it's 2 because you're getting bigger. So then the next one, there's 2 single crochets in that next one, and then the next 2 are 1 single crochet by itself. Please do that all the way around. This is round number 4. Okay, and coming up to the end of round number 4, so the last 2 are singles by themselves, and then you're just gonna slip stitch. It's always a good indication you know you're on the right path. So let's move on. Round number 5. Chain up 1, 2 singles in that first one, you know it. And then how many are going to be by itself as we're doing an increase? If you said 3, go grab yourself some cookies. So 3 by itself. So 1, 2, 3. So again the repeat is 2 into the next one. So 1 and 2, and then 3 by itself. So 1, 2 and 3. Please do this for round number 5. Coming up to the end of round number 5, the 3 are in there by themselves before I'm doing the joining. And let's move on to round number 6. So round number 6, chain up 1, and then you were just gonna put in then 2 into the first one, and in round number 6 there's going to be 4 by itself. I think you're getting it by this point, so just put the next 4 by itself, and then 2 into the next, 4 by itself, and 2 into the next. Please do this. Round number 6. Coming up to the end of round number 6, I'm just going to join it. So you can see I'm getting a little bit less with my instructions as far as like, you know, telling you exactly what to do as far as like showing you, because it's just a repeat of an increase. So round number 7, just chain up 1, and you're going to put 2 into the first one. So 1 and 2, and then round number 7 has 5 in a row that it's by itself. So then 2 and 5, 2 and 5. Let's do this. Round number 7. So I've come all the way back around. This is round number 7, and I'm just gonna slip stitch to the beginning and then move on to round number 8. So just slip stitch, sorry. And number 8, we're going to chain up 1, and you're going to put 2 into the first one. So we know how to do that. And number 8, there's now gonna be 6 in a row by itself, and then 2, 6, and then 2. Please do this all the way for round number 8. I'm coming up to the end of round number 8, so I'm just gonna slip stitch to the beginning. So it says in the pattern, continue in this manner, increasing 8 single crochets evenly around the next 5 rounds. So let's just cover what that is. So grab a pen and paper just in case you want it, and just watch what I'm about to do. So the designers are essentially telling us to increase for the next 5 rounds. So round number 9, you're gonna have 7 single crochets and then an increase. Round number 10, 8 single crochets and then an increase. 11 is 9, 12 is 10, and 13 here gives you 11 increases. And so with those 5, then that gets you to the final number that you need before you continue into the next round. If you would like to change the size of this basket in any way, you can keep going if you want to, or just end it earlier, and it pretty much doesn't matter because we're just gonna go our way all the way around. The only difference that it would matter is that the handles are marked at a different spot, so you might want to keep an eye on that for the future, but honestly you can probably just look over top and just manually just eye it out too. So let's do the rounds number 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13 on your own, and just look at the increase, put me on pause, and then I'm going to check it off as I complete my list, and then I'll get ready and we'll start the next round together. For those that are now ready to go on, so we're gonna now work on the next round in the instructions. So you'll have 104 single crochets. If you did change the size, you'll have something else. So we're going to begin and we're going to chain up 1, and in the back loop only, I know it's kind of hard to see because it's variegated, but it's there. And if you look at it really carefully, when you go underneath the stitches, you see that there's 1 set of loops. So, sorry, 1 set and then 2. So you want to go in the back loop only. So starting in the very first one, you want to go into the back loop. So you're only getting the back loop only. So starting in the back loops, you're just gonna go 1 single crochet in each. That first one was kind of hard for me to find, but once I got the first one, then they pretty much open up. You can kind of see it's a little bit easier to go. And this is going to create a line that will make it bendable at the base of the basket. So you're just gonna go all the way around, please, and just do 1 single crochet in the back loops, and I'll see you at the end of this round. So I'm just coming up all the way back around, and I'm just doing the back loops only, and then I'm just going to slip stitch to the regular stitch. So now for the 8 inches, okay, so 8 inches up, so consider this a line, so it will naturally want to bend with this line. So 8 inches up, you're going to continue to use this color. Then we're going to switch and do a solid color, which makes it the dip edge idea. So the next round, all we're just going to do, and all the way to 8 inches, including all the sections for the dipped edge. There is a exception with the handle, and I'll get there in just a moment, but what all you're just gonna do is just chain up 1, and going into the regular stitch work now, just apply 1 single crochet. So when I come back, I'm just gonna come back all the way around in the same round. I'll show you how to do the regular color, and then I'm gonna show you how to do the handle. The handle actually has a hole in the project for both sides of the handle, and I'll be showing you that when we come back. So go all the way around and go all the way to 8 inches, and then change your color. I'll show you how to do the change of the color, and then we'll continue from that point. So just coming all the way back around. So let's just pretend, hopefully you like pretending today. So I'm gonna slip stitch to the very beginning to where we had started. So let's pretend that I have 8 inches done from this line here. This was where the bend was. It will take several rounds before you'll start really seeing that curve in order to get to the bottom of the bowl. So if it's not curving up right away for you, don't panic, it will. So the only reason why it wouldn't be is if you're adding a stitch here. So make sure that you are finishing. So once you get your 8 inches done, we're gonna be ending this color, and then we're gonna be bringing on the solid color, which makes it the dipped edge crochet blanket. Did I just squeak? Puberty all over again, my friends. So we're going to just pull through, and you want to weave in these strands here, and you want to crochet right over them to trap them into position when you're doing this. So we're gonna move on to the next color, and the next color, what we need to do is 2 rounds of it first, and then we're gonna be making some hole spaces then for the handles. If you don't want handles, then just blast your way all the way to the top. Enjoy, have a great day, and if you'd like to do the handles, just continue to stick with me and we'll continue that. So let's just get another color, and we're gonna start right where we finished off. Now for transparency, I'm just using 1 ball. I'm using the outside I don't know why I put in my hand. I'm using the outside, and then I'm using the inside. So I'm using the outside first, and then the inside of the ball. So the ones coming out the end of each. So you may want to just release some yarn off the outside. It makes it a little bit easier, and you're gonna hold 2 strands together to get that solid color. So you want to just create a slip knot to begin, and you want to go right where you finished off and put that slip knot on. So just pull things nice and tight and pull through, and then chain 1, and then single crochet in the same one that you did the join. Go right up over top of that straggler to trap it in, and you want to do 2 rounds of this color, and I will do that just to make you happy today, and then I'm gonna show you how to do the handles section next. So just do 2 rounds of this color, and meet me here in just a moment. So I now have 2 rows of the new color. So you have 8 inches, pretend, and then you have 2 rounds of this, and now we're gonna do the handles. The neat way to do this one, if it were me and I were you, is that I get a little bit paranoid on the counts. So what I would like to do is that just mark it with a stitch marker, in this case just spare yarn, and I want to work my way across the piece. Okay, so I'm looking at the camera monitor in front of me here to get that middle. So I just want to get the middles of where I think the handles should be. So instead of counting, so ignore the counting if you're gonna do this, and just do this. So I'm just placing this marker here so I can see here. Okay, so that's about equal. So what I want to do is that I want to count, so grab some more stitch markers, so 2 more. So now that the middle one is in, I want to be able to locate where the handle is going to be. So let's just say that the one here is, we're gonna count out. So let's just count out starting at that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and so mark it to the 5th one. And now once you have that one done, count back so that you have 8 empty stitches. So 1 starting at that same one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And so then that will be what we're going to be jumping over. And what I wanted to do is I want to do the same thing with the other side, but noticing that it's not quite in the halfway point because it's an even number, not an odd. So starting in the next one, just now do the opposite. So how we counted this way, we're gonna count this way. So if you look at this one, we went 1, 2, 3, 4 and put it in the 5th. So we're gonna start with this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and put it in the 5th. And then we're gonna count back from that one. So we're gonna go starting in that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 and there is that one. And the reason why we're doing this is that we need to leave a hole for the handle. And so you can see, just adjust it a bit, it's equal. So you can take out the middle one there. So now that these are marked, we're going to skip the stitch right directly before it and skip the stitch directly after it. And we are just going to skip that so we end up with a hole here. And in the same one with this one. So we're gonna skip the one that is after it and the one that's before it. So we have to chain 1 in order to do the skipping. So as you're starting this round, you can just start as normal. So just chain up 1 and then just do 1 single crochet in each, and I'll show you what to do when we get to the stitch marker, just in case you're not clear. So my first stitch marker is coming up here, so I want to skip the one that's right before it. So just going in here, and to skip that one we're gonna chain 1 to jump over it and then just jump into the one that has the stitch marker. So you're gonna do all the ones in between the stitch markers. So do those and then you're going to skip the one directly after the stitch marker and make sure you chain 1 to go over top. So you could count like it suggests in the pattern, but chances are if you're reading the pattern you're not following this tutorial for this tip. So it's kind of a neat way to be able to do it without a lot of hassle. So now that I've just done that one there, I want to be able to just chain 1, skip over this stitch and then just start in the next one and work my way back around to the beginning. So I'm just coming all the way back around to the very beginning. I got two more rounds, my friends, but I'm not gonna do them on camera with you. So you're just gonna go around, you're gonna chain up 1 and do 1 single crochet. Now when you get to the space, put in a single crochet right into that space and that will secure that in, and you'll do that with the 4 spaces that you have. Go all the way around and then chain up 1 and do 1 single crochet all the way around, and then that's good to go. We're going to cover the handles next, but to finish off you want to cut both strands. And if it were me and you weren't watching me, you're just gonna pull through and treat each strand separately. It's just easier to get onto your wool needle, and so you just grab a needle and just stay to the inside of the work when you go to do this, and you'll want to do this with your handles as well. So you're just gonna just peel it back and just put it into the back section. Keep it in the same color of yarn and try not to get that needle so it pokes out the front. Just stay towards the back, and you're gonna take your 2 strands and just run them through once and then just a slightly different path in the opposite direction for 2, and finally 3rd time is a charm, just going a 3rd time across. Now you're gonna do the same with the other one, and then we're going to move on to show you how to do the handle. When I say we, I mean me. I don't even know why I do myself as plural. It's crazy. So let's move on, and I'm gonna hide this in and I will show you how to do the handles next. So let's review on how to do the handle. If you really looked at the photograph, you'll notice that the handle is like a round circle and it's going right through these holes. So in order to do that, you actually have to play with those holes as you're doing this. So let's just create an extra long tail just because you can. And what we can do, is that we can just chain a total of 26. Okay, so just pulling it close and chain 26. So I'm keeping the basket on the table because I'm gonna need it. So I'm just gonna go 1, 2, 3. So what I want to do now that I have 26, without really twisting it at all, just keep it kind of flat, just grabbing the back end of it, so right where you started, and I want you to feed that through to the outside. So pull that through. Now I want to, on the other side here, I want to feed it back in so it goes to the inside. So pull some chain work out. Again, make sure it's not twisting at all, and pulling it through. So when you go to join it, you want to just join with the beginning. And slip stitch. So you just have one more round to do. So this is the first one, and you're just gonna chain up 1, and you're just going to rotate around this. Now you'll notice that it wasn't tied at all to this project, so you're not gonna have to worry about trying to go up and through these loops. All you can just do then is just, once you start doing it, just 1 single crochet in each of the chains, and then you can just rotate the chain so you can have easier access to it. So just pulling it out one side and etc. And eventually the thicker chain will make its way through the hole. I think that's pretty self-explanatory at this moment. So what I'll do is I'll do that off camera and just apply 1 single crochet in each of the chains and just keep rotating it until I'm all the way around. So I'm coming up all the way back around and just yap at you for a few moments. So I've never seen a basket have handles like this before. Always the baskets are kind of sewn on, and I'm not really a fan of sewing on handles to a basket because people do put stuff in there that can weigh more. So I like the idea that this is actually a separate handle completely working through its holes. And when I get all the way around, I want to make sure that this is not twisting in any kind of weird way, unless that's what your goal is today. So you want to be just mindful of that when you get all the way around. So just kind of follow the line as it comes around, and that's it. So you're gonna do both handles the same way, and once you're around to the outside round, make sure there is no twist, and then just slip stitch to the top of the first single crochet. And like how I showed you already with weaving it in the tails, that's what I would do. And just use your tapestry needle and hide those in, and you'd be good to go, and you'd have a nice clean handle as you're doing this. So you pretty much, with this tutorial, you were able to figure out how to customize. Let me just back you out a little bit. So boop, 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 boop. So you were able to customize with the size because of the way that I showed you, and also you can just change anything that you want to really, and you can make it as high or as short as you want to. It's almost like a little tray at this moment, so it depends on your needs, and then you end up with the nice handle at the end, so then you can just you know, carry it around with you, or just put it beside your sofa, and it's now your new yarn basket. Whatever you want to use today, that's awesome, and this is a great project. So this is the Dipped Edge Crochet Basket by Rnds.com. Please weave in all your ends, and please enjoy and let us know how I did today. Have a good one, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.